When my first kid was born, it felt like the world was screaming advice at me. I was buried under books and blogs, all telling me how to be the perfect dad. It was all about optimization. I had sleep training algorithms that looked like stock market charts, and developmental milestone trackers for a tiny human without a manual. I was suddenly a data analysis for my own child, drowning in the pressures to quantify his childhood before it really started. So I did something that felt like surrender. I put down the books, I muted the group chats, and I picked up my favorite farming game. And I'm here to tell you that Stardew Valley taught me more about being a good parent than any of those books ever could. The advice wasn't mean-spirited, just relentless. It comes from a culture obsessed with optimizing everything. Our jobs, our workouts, and our money. That mindset has bled into modern parenting. The message is clear. If you're not optimizing your child from day one, you're failing. It's like being told to turn a new car into a Formula 1 champion before it leaves the garage. Are they hitting tummy time goals? Is their sleep optimized for brain development? It creates profound anxiety. Every missed nap felt like a dip in the quarter earning reports. I was so focused on the doing of fatherhood, tracking, scheduling, that I was missing the being. My son isn't a project to be managed. He's a person to be with. But I couldn't turn off that part of my brain trained to chase efficiency. Parenting advice offered no comfort, just more spreadsheets. So one night, after a botched bedtime routine, I didn't reach for another guide. I reached for my control. I needed to escape to a place with low stakes. I needed Pelican Town. Booting up Stardew Valley felt like a deep exhale. The whole point of the game is to leave a soul-crushing modern life for something simpler, and I desperately needed that. I wasn't looking for answers, just refuge. I started a new farm and fell back into the gentle rhythms, watering the crops, petting the dog, and talking to the villagers. Eventually, my in-game character got married and had a child. A little pixelated baby appeared in the nursery, and it was here in the simplified version of parenthood the game started to dismantle all toxic advice I'd received. It didn't give me milestone charts or performance dashboards. It gave me something far more profound, a masterclass in the one thing that my son actually needed from me, my presence. In Stardew Valley, children are, from a gameplay's perspective, famously useless. They don't help on the farm, earn money, or help you reach the game's goal of perfection. They just exist. For the first few weeks, the baby just sleeps. Later, you can do a daily interaction with them where you can toss it up in the air and build your relationship. They grow into toddlers who run around their house but never get older. They contradict the whole idea of optimizing the game. And that was my first light bulb moment. My role wasn't to be a factory foreman demanding output. It was to be a gardener. My son isn't a machine to be fine-tuned. He is a seed that needs good soil. My job was simple, to be there, to provide warmth and safety. The game stripped away the pressures to make my child productive and replaced it with a single action, the daily check-in, just showing up. It was the perfect analogy for early parenthood. You aren't building a product, you're building a person. And the main building block is your unconditional presence. Stardew Valley gave me the permission to do less and just be there. The game's logic goes deeper. In Stardew Valley, relationships are measured by hearts. If you ignore someone, your friendship decays. With your kids, you build hearts through that one simple daily interaction. It's not about big gestures. You can't ignore your child for a week and then make up for it with an expensive gift. The game rewards the quiet daily rhythms of just showing up. It rewards consistency. This is a perfect mirror for the science of attachment theory. A baby builds security not by a few intense moments, but thousands of boring, repetitive interactions. Every time you answer their cry, feed them, or just hold them, you are laying another brick on the foundation of trust. You are sending a signal to their developing nervous system, saying, "You are safe, and I am here." A game system where consistent presence builds an unbreakable bond is a powerful metaphor for this. Once you reach full friendship levels, the hearts no longer decay. You've built a bond that lasts. The game teaches that the most heroic thing a parent can do isn't a grand gesture, but the simple, repeated choice to be there day after day. One of the most freeing lessons is what the game doesn't let you do. You cannot control who your child becomes in Stardew Valley. They have no personality, no skills to level up, and no path to greatness you can pave. For a gamer used to min-maxing outcomes, this lack of control is jarring. For a new parent, it's a gift, a lesson in letting go. This defies all the advice that says you should mold your child. The game teaches that a child is not a bonsai tree to be shaped by your aesthetic. They're a wildflower. Your job is to provide good soil, but the way that they grow up is their own. There's even a dark mechanic in the game that you can turn your children into doves and disappear forever. It's a bizarre but powerful metaphor. You must love your children for who they are, not for who you hope they'll become. For a dad with a newborn, that's a profound relief. My job isn't to control his destiny. It's to provide a safe launching pad for his own. The daily loop of Stardew Valley. Wake up, water crops, pet the animals, and talk to the family is a comforting ritual. This mirrors the realistic nature of life with a newborn. Endless cycle of feeding, changing, and sleeping feels repetitive, but inside that repetition, a rhythm is born that creates security. The game also teaches you to accept imperfection. As a new parent, you're juggling your career, your sanity, and this precious new life. In Stardew Valley, some days you just don't have enough energy. A crop might wither. You might forget a birthday. The game doesn't demand perfection. It just asks that you try again tomorrow. This was the permission I needed to hear. Dropping a ball isn't failure. It's part of the deal. What matters isn't a flawless performance. It's the commitment to keep showing up. Looking back at the first few weeks, I reflect on the anxiety and the weight of expectations. But I also see the glow of my monitor, the pixelated fields, and the simple truths that the game gave me. Stardew Valley didn't offer me a 5-step plan for raising a successful kid. It gave me something better, a new framework for fatherhood. It taught me that my value wasn't my ability to produce, optimize, or be perfect. My value is in my presence. It's a lesson that goes against so much of modern life, but it's a truth that every parent needs to hear. Your child doesn't need a project manager. They need a parent. They need someone who will show up consistently and unconditionally, building a world of safety, one quiet, ordinary day at a time. The game helped me see that the most important work I was doing wasn't something I could track on a spreadsheet. It was in the silent, late night hours, just holding my son, letting him know he was home. So I wanted to ask you, what games have taught you unexpected life lessons? It doesn't have to be about parenting. It could be about anything at all. Let me know your stories down in the comments below. I'd love to hear them.